Hey everybody, Arglefump here. This is the schedule for my book review channel for September 2022. I'm mostly going to be posting the next 4 books in Babysitters Club, River Heights, and the Rainbow Magic Fairy series. I'll get to the specifics in a moment, but first, I do want to point out this is my second time making the video. The first time I made the video, there was music playing in the background. I was playing The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. That's a song from 1902, so it's 120 years old. Somebody slapped me with a copyright claim saying they own that song. No, the copyright to that song has long since expired. Well, so now I'm making this video without any music in the background. So, on the 5th, River Heights number 9 and 10. Brittany gets a terrible boyfriend, and Robin, she deals with this really nerdy guy whose name is Michael. Which is unfair, because my name is Michael, and I'm not a really nerdy guy, right? Then we have Supermystery number 2 for the Babysitters Club, where a bad guy from a previous book returns and tries to kill the babysitters. And in book 93, somebody actually does get killed. Marianne's friend dies, and she has a really hard time coping with it. Now, for Rainbow Magic Fairy, these are going to be like analytics reviews? I don't know what you call it, but it analyzes the text and says, here's what's different between the US text and the UK text. And you can see it took me a long time. 15-minute video, 11-minute video. There are a lot of changes they make to these books, which is surprising because they're like 60 pages. These are very short kids' books. Also, on the 20th, I'll be doing the same thing with 2 more Rainbow Magic Fairy books. I do have like 6 or so other Rainbow Magic Fairy books I could do a textual analysis of, but I think I'll wait and see how popular these videos are before deciding to do more in that series. Also, River Heights number 11 on the 14th. I have no idea what happens in this book. I have no memory of it whatsoever. And the Super Sizzler, I remember that. They go on vacation to Washington, D.C. There's love drama in the Smithsonian Museum, and there's spy drama. They catch some sort of political spy, and it's sort of a mystery. On the 17th, we've got Babysitters Club 94, Stacy Mcgill Super Sitter, which I thought was a really interesting book. Stacy gets a really challenging babysitting job that takes up all of her time, but she gets paid a lot of money for it. So what does she like more, free time or money? Also, the client is a total jerk, as I recall. Client is a terrible person. And mystery number 23, one I think I enjoyed. They solve a series of cool scavenger hunt clues and a really dramatic ending where the culprit holds this kid hostage at gunpoint. Very dramatic. It's actually a murder. They're technically solving a murder mystery. It's a murder that took place 30 years ago or so, but it's still a murder mystery. So it's different for the series, and I remember really liking it. Speaking of mysteries, we've got 3 mysteries. No, 2 mysteries here. Ellery Queen's September mystery is about the murder of a college professor, whereas Sherlock Holmes, The Adventure of the Noble Bachelor, is about a woman who disappears right after getting married, and Holmes has to figure out what happened to her. Did she run away? Was she murdered? Does this really strange-looking guy who showed up to crash their wedding have anything to do with it? Maybe. On the 26th, I'll be posting a review for Encanto, A Tale of Three Sisters. I really like this book. So, Isabella and Louisa narrate several chapters in this book, and it's interesting to see the movie from their point of view. Also on the 26th, I'll be posting a review for Wizard of Oz. I was commissioned to read that book. I really like that book. I'm probably going to give it a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I have 2 more commissions. I'll be posting those on the 29th. So the person who's been commissioning me to read the Alex Rider series, now that I'm done, they want me to read the Sammy Key series. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And you've probably noticed I've been reading the Cirque du Freak series, so the person who's been commissioning me to read those books told me to keep going. So In the future, I'm probably going to be reading a Cirque du Freak and a Sammy Keys mystery at the end of every single month. Now let me discuss the 30 books that I read in August. Christmas romance novel, The Santa Sleuth. It was okay. I liked it better than Gift Wrapped. Terrible Christmas romance novel. That man should be arrested for the things he does to the woman. It's just, ugh, ugh. Also, kind of Christmas themed. Also, The Mistletoe Fairy. The book has nothing to do with mistletoe, and it's a very generic book for the series, but there are some unique creative touches which I liked. More Rainbow Magic Fairy. So I read the 4 books in the Farm Animal Fairy series. It's not a very good series. I didn't like it. I think it's just... This is like the 5th or 7th series they've done, which is all about cute baby animals and no creativity left. It's just a boring rehash of previous series. Yeah, that's what it says in my summary. Bland repetition. Yeah, so I did not like any of the 4 books in the baby animal fairy, the farm fairy whatever series. You can tell I didn't like it. I can't even be bothered to remember the name of that series. Pizza Lovers 2B. So this was going to be the 3rd book in the series, but the publishers didn't like it. They refused to publish it. And the author self-published this book after the series was over. So it's kind of interesting. It's a book that was never supposed to be published, so I read that, and I read the actual 3rd book in the Pizza Lovers series, where the owner of a rival pizzeria is murdered. It should be here. Yeah, Pizza to Die For. That was the book. Hardy Boys Case Files. So I read a lot of Hardy Boys Case Files. I read book number 75 because the librarian misunderstood me and I didn't want to look like a jerk. So I said, sure, yeah, that's the book I want. And you know what? I was going to read this book eventually, so no big deal. Other than that, with the case files, I read books number 20 through 30, excluding book 22, because I've already read that book. That's published on my channel already. You can see that review. So, lots of Hardy Boys case files this month. Yeah, let me show them off. I mean, here's 2 more. Here's one where they infiltrate a gang of thieves. Here's one where they stop a nuclear bomb. Here's one where they try to clear a friend of murder charges. Here's one where they go to Alaska and stop terrorists from blowing up the pipeline. Here's one where they go to Greece and lots of fighting a bunch of terrorists. They're trying to save a secret agent. The First Day of School Forever, an R.L. Stine book, very similar to the Goosebumps series. Interesting, kind of crazy and weird. I liked it. I think I liked it overall, but I did not like it as much as Help, I'm Trapped in the First Day of School. And that was a book I read as a kid. Maybe that's the reason why I like it so much. I reread it. I thought it was really good. I very much enjoy that time loop book. Also, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, which is a straightforward novelization of the movie. Secret Agent Santa is another Christmas romance novel. There are actually 2 Christmas romance novels called Secret Agent Santa. I plan to read the other one eventually, and I'll post both of them in December. That's my plan. I did not like this one very much. That contains stuff. I probably can't explain why it's bad, because then this video would get flagged for adult content. But there's a lot of adult content, and it's not very consensual. Okay. So there's Go Eat Worms, Goosebumps number 21. I thought that was fun. It's not the best book, but I thought it was fun anyway. Enemies and Allies is a superhero book with Batman and Superman. I really liked it. Apparently, the higher-up critics thought it was terrible. Way too cartoony. It's like, but they're cartoon superheroes. Why are you being so down on them for being cartoony? Especially because it's a book that takes place in the 1950s, so it sort of follows that era's version of Superman and Batman, and they were a bit more cartoony than they are today. So, Rainbow Magic Special Edition number 47, Michelle the Winter Wonderland Fairy, just generic fairy stuff. More Hardy Boys. Carmen the Cheerleading Fairy, again, kind of generic fairy stuff. Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys, Fairy, Fairy, Hardy Boys. Did I mention this yet? This is a Halloween romance novel. Harlequin actually published 2 Halloween romance novels during in October in the 90s. I forget which year. So I'm going to review both of them next month. That should be fun. And then Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so those are all the various books that I did reviews for last month. Lastly, let me talk about my video game writing. Pride and Prejudice and Murder was released last month. My newest game was published. I co-wrote it along with Abigail Fuller. It's a text-only game. It's based on Pride and Prejudice. The premise is that Darcy and Elizabeth are about to get married and somebody murders Lady Catherine. She's a really unpleasant character, so there are lots of suspects. We need to solve the murder mystery so the wedding can continue. An exciting game. It was a lot of fun to write. I hope it's well received. The other video game writing project I worked on this past month is a superhero game. I'm working on the first pathway. I think I'm like 6 or 7 pages away from being done with the project. Well, done with the pathway. There are 4 other pathways, but I'm close to finishing this pathway. I'll finish that and then go back to working on one of my other writing projects. Probably the mom book, because the editor just sent me revised copies of all the scripts. So now I got to go through the scripts again and make all the changes and decide what I like, decide what I want to change. I'll just go back and forth with the editor until we get a finalized copy of the script. I think that's everything I have to say here. Thank you very much for watching. You have a wonderful September.